It's time for this week's Here's How, and this week, here's how to make an emergency situation worse. Walk around the collapsed building at the scene of a strong earthquake and start shouting and telling everyone around you that the acoustics are terrible in here. Stand near any opening of rubble with a megaphone and start shouting into it that no matter how loud people shout, we're never going to find them because it's just so noisy in here. Then walk around shouting through it, saying shout back if you can hear the sirens, and press the siren button on the megaphone. Then keep speaking loudly through the megaphone so there's no possible way that the crushed can be heard. So you've just seen someone fall into a zoo exhibit. Well, whether it's the lions, chimpanzees, or maybe just some zebras, you're going to want to get a laser pen and shine it into the animal's eyes, maybe throw some high sugar content or high fructose content foods into there for the animals to eat to get them all hyper. If they're hyper, they might struggle to focus on the person who fell in, but it'll also whet their appetite. Maybe chuck in a sharing bag of snacks for the person to share with the creatures. Whilst the stranger that collapsed in the queue in front of you is convulsing and people are attempting to catch their tongue between their index finger and thumb, start screaming at the top of your lungs that they're trying to look up your shirt, get really aggressive about it, and then, as the people that are trying to offer first aid to the collapsed person look up at you and start pointing at them, and declare that they're in on it with the convulser, also they can all look up your top. When you see a woman crying in your local shopping centre, start telling people nearby it's because you just broke up with her. Say that you know she's going to miss the sex more than you will, but she has a good heart. She just tends to get a bit emotional. When you're walking past your next minor car crash, call an ambulance and claim to be one of the drivers of the car, and claim that you think there's something wrong with the other driver who caused it, a third unknown entity that you've completely fabricated. Then go up to the people that are clearly shook up and offer them some whiskey from your hip flask. When the fire alarm next goes off at work, go and run around screaming, swaying your arms in the air, and then rush to the door and hold the door and make yourself vibrate and just keep saying, I'm trying. Someone's going to talk you through it most likely, either politely or very aggressively. Then, whilst you're waiting in the car park for the announcement of it all being a test, start a rumour that the person that interrupted your door drama was the culprit, either because they were way too calm or weren't shocked, or because they were loud whilst you were fumbling the door. A real damned if you fireman Sam and damned if you fireman Samt. When the news of a huge flood hits and volunteers are being rounded up, go along, but as you rescue the people and the pets, start telling them this is how it starts. It's time to repent. Or find out the history of the unfortunate wetted peoples, and if they're new to the area, tell them that this happens every 18 months or so and people don't normally stay around very long. If you're a first responder of some description, be it a copper, fireman, paramedic, coast guard, or even a mountain rescue, and someone at the scene is crying, ask them if they're crying because of you. When you see there's a wildfire, travel towards it and start asking lots of questions about the trench that they're going to be digging to contain the fire. Ask if anyone knows exactly where they're going to be digging, and if you think they're going to go more than 4 feet down, ask what sounds like very specific questions. Ask everybody. Maybe you want to hire a flatbed or a good-sized pickup and drive around looking for where it's kicking off, or maybe just a roundabout where there's a lot of car crashes and car fires. Have an acoustic band on the back and have them sing something you've written like, well, you can't escape, and that's your fate, and the smoke will suffocate your mates. You seem to need help. No one's at the scene, apart from you and my band and me. Well, today's the day that you go the way of my relationship with my kids. Or the dodo or my best mate George, 'cause he died in a similar way. Try smash the glass to let in some air, mate. The smoke's getting thick, it's stinging your eyes. You need some help, but not from my guys. John's on the bass and Mike's on guitar. Try a window wiper, maybe that'll help. You can cool it down with that. Wait, was that diesel? It ain't hard to tell. Look, was there fumes or not? And I can see the bits smushed into seats. That guy don't look okay to me. I see you're still alive. Surviving's fine. I guess you can sing along with me. I was the last to see your friend breathing. Oh shit, that's a kid. Pack up, we're leaving. John, Mike and Tom, hop in the cab. We've gotta go. Run that red light. Bit of beautiful South there. And that's the end of this week's Here's How.